Welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, where we explore all things books, business, and bullshit. My favorite bees. I'm your host, the fairy coin mother, Cinquanta Cox-Smith of www.cinquantacoxsmith.com. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, episode 166. We are going to talk about the book release. I keep it real with y'all. I'm giving numbers. I did a behind the scenes video of my process of me getting this book done, written, getting the audiobook done. Oh gosh, it's a lot, but yeah, we gonna chop it up real quick. I hope you guys are settling into all of the newness of the new year. We are no longer saying Happy New Year because after my birthday, the new year is over. I celebrate the entire January, and I'm not afraid to say that. We are going to talk about the book release, but I gotta say something. Smile for me. I want you guys to make sure you are checking out coinsandconnections.com and checking out the Smile for Me merch. There will be new things coming soon. I'm testing some things. I might be wearing a few things. Yeah, I'm just in my creative bag just a little bit, and I really want to be able to push things out where I can make a little point from this podcast. We are going to hit 200 episodes this year. And if you have stuck around this long, you is my dog for real. Like, you my homie. And I appreciate you no matter where you're listening from. If it's in the United States, if it's across the pond, if it's out of space. Because if you out of space and you listening, what? Tell the sun and the moon and the clouds I said what's up. All right. This book was stressful but fun. It showed me that I could do whatever that I put my mind to. Now, I already knew this, but it really brought out this thing in me because I have a habit of creating book covers but never creating the book. If you feel my drift, I always get these high hopes and these dreams that I'm going to be able to do every single thing. And I proved that to myself. And in the amount of time that I got it done, I am proud of myself. This was a less than 3-month window to create a ebook, a paperback book, record, narrate, create a script, and make sure my voice didn't go out while I was recording my very first audiobook that I have narrated. Now, I have audiobooks out there. Some are under pen names, but this was the first one that I myself had did every single thing. Also, when talking about getting this book release done, I did not mention Descript because first of all, I know everybody is on Chat GPT, whatever, the new AI system, but stick with Descript. They got some things coming, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I'm happy to just use the system consistently. Like I said, Descript helped me, the software, it helped me write the book. The book would have been completed. I talked my way through every scene that was in my head, like off the top. The first chapter, first 2 or 3 chapters was probably typed. The rest of the book, I sat in front of my computer. I just gave myself the title for the chapter, and I made sure I had a list of the character names in front of me, their ages, who their husbands was from my very first Black book that I wrote all my notes in, and I just went off dome. And it's so crazy because this is how I don't really write with a script. Like maybe every now and then, if there's a key point that I want to happen in that chapter, I'll make a note of it. But there's never how it's going to play out. How did they get into this situation? Everything is normally off the top. And this is how I was able to write my first erotica story that sold really well in my notes on my phone. Now having Descript, I was able to talk out the whole story. Then I recorded and narrated and edited my entire audiobook. When I tell y'all, that was something new that pushed me to the limit. It pushed me to a point of, oh my gosh, I just did this. I did it, and then people bought it, and I can hear myself reading my book. Even though I was in it, I still made sure I downloaded the audiobook. Honestly, it was not 100% perfect, but what was, I just did it. A lot of us are sitting there contemplating, picking apart everything we do. What happens when we just do it? Finish it, put it out. We can make it better later. That's what we want. We want to put our art out in the world and learn from that experience so we can become better. And I think we've all gotten to a point where we are perfectionists. Oh my gosh, they're not going to like this. Did they do it? Did they have the courage to sit there and narrate their own book, or did they pay somebody? There's a lot of people who are rooting for you. There's a lot of people who look up to you, and seeing that you were able to accomplish something, they feel like, okay, she did it, I got this. So my book girlies, y'all got this. Get Descript. Go ahead. Even if it's someone in your family that you feel has a nice voice, put them on. Put them in a position to get it done. I did everything with the audiobook on Descript. It had clip leveling, it had studio sound, and exporting this file was pretty easy. The only thing that I needed was Audacity after the fact. After the whole book was recorded, I needed Audacity to get my minutes per whatever, the MPHZ, in the ranges that the ACX wants. So, and that was the only other tool that I used. Other than that, I did everything in Descript. Still using my same very first mic that I purchased off of Amazon. Speaking of that, this reminded me of my first book release. It was not perfect at all, but it made me want to keep writing, to the point where so many people from my hometown were supporting me. I sold so many books that way, and just the support of my parents, it was like, I can do this, I can keep doing this. Until this day, I still have people who are asking me for a follow-up of this or a follow-up of that, and life just be life for real, so I just don't get a time to write. But this makes it so much easier. I have goals to do some more talk writing, because I don't know what I want to call it, but yeah, that reminded me of my very first book release. And I realized I don't have a loyal reader base anymore because I haven't continuously engaged them the way I probably should have in the past 7 years, because I have been focused on teaching print-on-demand success. That was something that was different. I have my loyal day ones, like family, friends, things like that. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. And I think it was more so about me getting this out there. If I write the rest of the series and 5 people buy the book, I'm satisfied. I know you guys want me to get into the numbers as well. It is a blessing to just be able to do what I want to do. I'm going to read the numbers and I'm going to get into something else. So the ebooks with pre-orders and then release day up until now, I sold 7 holiday reunion ebooks, 3 paperbacks, and that was through Lulu because, yeah, we just gonna leave that right there. And then I have sold 2 audiobooks. So that has been good. The pre-orders did help me reach the bestsellers chart before the book came out. It stayed pretty consistent on the charts, which was amazing. I'm a charter. Okay. And I want to go into this, just letting you guys know, writing was a goal and dream that I had with my best friend. I always like to just give that shout out to Mo Dollars, like, girl, we did it. So I also want to talk about something super personal, because my best friend Monique passed away in 2015. And I believe I've talked about it before on the podcast, but no matter how many times I go home, I can never go to her gravesite. And it was just me not wanting to accept that she was gone, like going to the grave, because I could not make it to the funeral. I had just moved to Kansas and I hadn't been there a long time, didn't really have a job. Life was hard. Yeah, I knew she was gone because, of course, I couldn't talk to her, couldn't text her, couldn't tweet her, couldn't meet up with her when I came home. But it was like going to the gravesite would make it real. And I wasn't ready to accept that she was gone. But this trip home really made me feel like I need this closure. And I think being able to come back and publish a new book gave me that strength, because of course I always remember, like, we sat on the phone and we talked about writing a book together. I think we even created an email address. I've tried for years to remember what it was, remember where the email was. I still can't find it till this day, but I really and truly felt, okay, this is a symbol, this is a sign. And I had never been to the grave. I knew where the graveyard was. So my husband took me and we walked around for maybe 30 minutes trying to find the grave, which was bittersweet because he knew I wasn't going to leave until I found her gravesite. And the craziest thing is, where we parked at, it was almost basically on the road where her grave was. And we got out the car and we started walking and looking, and we didn't find it. But my husband said, as I was walking further up, he just basically called out, "Monique, lead me to you." And he said he walked 2 steps to the left and looked down, and there was her gravesite. So I was able to sit and to talk to my best friend. I was able to have a release of just pent up grief. And if you've ever grieved someone you really love, someone for a long time, you understand everyone grieves in a different way. Everyone grieves in a different way. And it was just something hard for me to accept. To the point where I had seen her mother one day when I was home and she was in the grocery store. I talked to her, hugged her, chatted, and I got in the car and I just bawled. And those moments continue to come. I get sad around the time where she passed. I get sad around her birthday. So those are times where I blast Destiny Child's Writing on the Wall, because that was our CD. We was singing from front to back. Like, you wasn't messing with us when it came to Destiny Child, The Writers on the Wall, because that was it for us, okay? But all in all, I feel like the book release helped me to not only release something that was not perfect, but it was able to help me release this grief and also find closure around the death of my best friend. I know the end got a little heavy, but I know just sharing my journeys, my emotions, it gotta help somebody. Like, for real, y'all not just sitting up in here like, girl, I can't relate. There's somebody who can relate. No matter when you hear this podcast episode, no matter when you play this, let it be a Sunday, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. See, I can't be serious for nothing. But like, whenever this hits your ears, really think. We all need closure. We all need release from something. And I got a lot more releasing to do this year. And I'm making that a priority because I want to be whole, I want to be healthy, and I want to be mentally free from anything that is holding me hostage from myself, like from living up to my highest potential and just vibrating at the highest level possible, because why not? Okay, God gave us gifts. He gave us breath and life to wake up every single day, and we have to take advantage of who we are, how we feel, and what we want to accomplish in this life, and through our gifts, our work, our love, our passion. So the book release was much more than just a book release. It was the ultimate release. So until next time. Thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the Coins and Connections podcast. Don't forget to leave a review and join the conversation over on Facebook and Instagram using the hashtag Coins and Connections. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Cinquanta Cox-Smith and at Coins and Connections. You can shop all merch at www.coinsandconnections.com. I love you more than I love this podcast. Peace.